The craniocervical junction exhibits a profound absence of skeletal and muscular integration. There is no discernible mandibular angle, nor any indication of the sternocleidomastoid or trapezius muscles that would define the neck's robust anatomical structure and articulate the head with the underlying cervical vertebrae.
This results in an amorphous transition lacking fundamental bony landmarks and muscle flow. While the stylized aesthetic has its charm, a rigorous anatomical foundation is crucial for structural integrity, even in fantasy. The mandibular ramus and cervical spine define the crucial transition from cranium to thorax. Observe the lack of clear articulation in the submandibular and anterior cervical regions, which diminishes the impression of underlying osteological structure. Specifically, the absence of an implied mandibular angle and the sternocleidomastoid's origin points prevents the establishment of a robust cervical column and pectoral girdle foundation. Refine this region to introduce definitive osseous and muscular contours. The foundational cervical and mandibular skeletal landmarks are entirely absent, resulting in a lack of structural integrity for the head's articulation. Consequently, the sternocleidomastoid and trapezius musculature lacks proper origination and insertion points, resulting in an undefined cervicofacial junction. This amorphous transition severely compromises the anatomical realism of the neck's robust structural analysis. The most critical structural or proportion mistake in this image is the asymmetry of the prominent gill-like structures, the large pink fan-like appendages, on either side of the character's head. Upon close inspection, particularly when comparing the character's right side, viewer's left, to its left side, viewer's right, the gill cluster on the character's right side appears significantly larger, more spread out, and extends further forward and backward, creating a wider and more voluminous silhouette. The individual lobes also seem more distinct and separated. The gill cluster on the character's left side appears more compressed, slightly flatter, and less expansive. The overall spread is narrower, and the lower lobe does not extend as far back or as prominently as its counterpart. This lack of bilateral symmetry in such a defining and prominent feature makes the character appear unbalanced and inconsistent in its design, especially given that the rest of the facial features, eyes, horns, mouth, appear to be largely symmetrical. The cranium exhibits a generalized, smooth volume, lacking explicit bony landmarks such as distinct supraorbital ridges or a defined mandibular angle. The textile component entirely obscures the cervical column and pectoral girdle, preventing the anatomical assessment of underlying osteology and associated muscle origins and insertions, notably the sternocleidomastoid and trapezius. Subcutaneous adipose tissue distribution is uniformly diffused, offering no differentiation of specific facial or cervical fat pads, thereby simplifying the soft tissue envelope beyond anatomical verisimilitude.